Hello, all of my awesome art students. So this week, we are going over what a landscape is, as well as our warm and cool colors, to combine them together to make this warm and cool color landscape. Now, I know this looks like a lot, it's very elaborate, but just like our past projects, you'll have some choice in how much you want to include in your landscape. I know I've gone in and I've added a lot of detail to mine, but you don't have to do it to this level. You will be required to do a row of flowers. You'll be required to do some water and some hills in the background in the sun. But you can see I chose to go in and add like patterns into my hills, add a lot of flowers, color everything very elaborately. But we'll go more into what you need to have in yours as the video goes on. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started on our project. Let's begin by going over what a landscape is. It's kind of already in the name. What a landscape is art showing the outdoors or the outside, where that's the main subject. Now I'm just going to go over some examples of what a landscape could look like. So a landscape could be of a bunch of trees and a forest. It could be of a desert, which if you're in first grade, we have already done a project on that. It could be a mountain range. It could be a house on a hill. You can have other elements in your landscape that are man-made. It could show the night skies. Landscapes don't always have to be during the day. So now that we know what a landscape is, let's go ahead and get started on drawing our own. For our landscape, the first thing we're going to draw is the foreground, which is the area of our landscape that is closest to us or in the front. And we're just going to draw a nice row of flowers in our foreground. Now we want to draw them nice and big because they're in front, so they're closest to us, and when things are close to us, they are larger than when things are farther away. And if you have a way to draw flowers, you can do it your way. I'm just going to go ahead and show a couple different ways to draw flowers. So I'm going to start here in the corner, and I'm going to just draw a nice curved line like I'm drawing a quarter of a circle. And then from there, I'm just going to draw a couple of curved lines shaped like a U, coming or radiating out of this curved line here, like this. Then what I can do is I can go in and add textures or details to my flower. I could also add some leaves if I want to my flowers. If you want to draw a rose, I'm going to show you the way I learned how to draw a rose when I was in elementary school, and I start by drawing a spiral. So it's like I'm drawing a oval, but before I reach the end, I curve back in. And I keep going till I hit the center. I connect that down like that. And I draw a curved line like I'm drawing a U, again, like that. Draw some petals in if I want. Maybe add another leaf. I really want to fill my space and not leave too many empty spaces with what I'm drawing. I could do a tulip, which is pretty simple. It's very similar to our rose. So all I do is I just draw that U shape again, like that. And instead of doing a spiral, I do a zigzag line. My tulip ended up a little funky, but that's okay. I could add petals into my tulip if I wanted to. And now I'm just going to go ahead and keep drawing different flowers. So there's my row of flowers. The next step is now I want to add a nice river behind my flowers, or a lake, or just some body of water. And to do that, I'm just going to start by drawing a curved line. And I'm going to go ahead and fill this space with some more curved lines. And if you want, I'm going to show you how, if you wanted to do like a wave in your lake or river or whatever, if you're drawing an ocean, I guess. So to do that, I curve up and around like this. All right. And then I'm going to curve around into a spiral And then I follow that line that I just drew. Before I hit right here, this curved line below, I'm going to curve my line back around and follow. And then I can come back over here to where my spiral had ended, and I curve it like this. Ta-da! So that is how you could do a wave, and you can do a couple. You could also do it like this, where again, I'm curving up and around like that. Follow around. Make some waves in your water. Then the next step is I want to add some hills or some mountains to my landscape. And if I want to do mountains, I'm going to do a zigzag line. If I want to do hills, hills are rounder, so I would do a curved line. So I'll show you both. If I'm doing hills, I'm just going to do the curved line like that. When I hit my water, I stop, I lift up my marker, and I draw another hill. And I go all the way across my paper. If I wanted to do mountains instead, it would be more of a zigzag line, or like you're drawing a triangle. So you can do one or the other, or if you want to do both, kind of like I did, you may. It's up to you. And then if you want, just like I did with my flowers, you can go in and add details to your hills. You could just do some grass. You could get creative with it. You could do a pattern in your hill. You know how much I love patterns. You could just leave it plain. It's up to you how you want to do it. You could add trees or something on your hill if you want. It again is up to you what details you want to add. So for the sky, we are going to add a nice big sun. Like it's going to be either a sunrise or a sunset. So either early in the day or the end of the day. And to do that, I'm going to take my marker again, and I'm going to start by drawing a curved line. Like again, a hill shape, like this. And I stop once I hit either my mountain or the end of my hill, whatever you hit first. So this is the center of my sun. So this would be like the circle we normally draw up here or whatever. And now I'm going to draw the rays coming out of the sun like this. It's just going to be a bunch of diagonal lines. And I want to go all the way to the end of my paper. So now the drawing part of my landscape is done. So now we're going to talk about the coloring part of our landscape. So let's take a look at our color wheel, and we have all done a color wheel at this point. We can separate our colors into our primary colors, our colors that we cannot make, and our secondary colors, our colors that we make by mixing two of our primary colors together. However, there is another two groups we can separate our colors into, and they are called our warm colors and our cool colors. And just like our primary and secondary colors, there are 3 colors in our warm color group, and there are 3 colors in our cool color group. And I want you to take a second and think, with our warm colors, what 3 colors on our color wheel do you think would go in the warm colors? And I want you to think of what's warm, like the sun or fire. What 3 colors would you use to color the sun or fire? The 3 colors would be red, orange, and yellow. So these are our 3 warm colors. So that means these 3 colors, green, blue, and purple, also known as violet, are our cool colors. So normally these 3 colors again make us think of warmer things like fire or a nice sunny day, and these 3 colors we might use them to show something that's a little cooler or cold, like a slimy frog or a winter day instead of a nice sunny day. And so let's look at these colors on our color wheel. So when we're putting our primary colors on the color wheel, we know that our primary colors don't touch each other, and same with our secondary colors. But with warm and cool, they actually touch the colors that are in that group. So with our warm colors, you have red, orange, and yellow right next to each other. And with our cool colors, we have green, blue, and purple right next to each other. So you can just divide the color wheel in half, and that will help you figure out what are your warm and cool colors. So we're going to use these colors to color our landscape. When we are coloring our landscape with our warm and cool colors, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the land part, the foreground and the middle ground, so this part, the foreground, the part in front, and the middle ground, the stuff in the middle, these are all going to be colored with my cool colors. So green, blue, and purple. And the sun, or the background, this is going to be colored with our warm colors, red, orange, and yellow. So I am not going to be using my warm colors to color the land. I'm not going to use yellow or red in my flowers. I'm not going to use orange in my hills. That being said, I'm not going to use blue or green or purple in my sun. I'm using crayons, so I have a lot of different colors to use. I have these colors, but then I also have all these fun ones. So I can keep using these. Just keep in mind, this would be considered warm. It's red, it's a red type of red, so it's considered warm. This would also be warm, it's just a different type of orange. And these two would be cool because they're just a different type of blue and purple. So you can use whatever colors you want, just make sure that you're using them with the correct group. So let's get started. And there you have it. So once again, my land part of my landscape, my foreground and my middle ground, that is all cool colors. You can see, like with the trunks of my trees, I didn't use brown or use orange. I used a cool color. I used purple. Or if you look like in my mountains, I didn't use brown. I didn't use any of my warm colors. Again, I used some purple and blue. And my sun, my background, that's all warm colors. So that's what I'll be looking for in the awesome landscapes that you are going to draw. I look forward to seeing what you submit.